Alright, let's dive into something that's been buzzing in the football world lately, and trust me, it's a real head-scratcher. So, Roberto Donadoni, a name that carries some serious weight in AC Milan's history, recently shared his thoughts on the club's preseason and the whole Rafael Leao saga. And honestly, his take is both fascinating and a bit unsettling. Here's why. First off, Donadoni basically says Milan has already lost the battle with Leao. That's a bold statement, right? But if you take a step back and think about it, it's not entirely off the mark. Leo's been making headlines for all the wrong reasons lately, wanting to leave, struggling in friendlies, and just not living up to the hype. What makes this really interesting is how Donadoni frames it. He's not just talking about Leo's skills or lack thereof. He's pointing to a deeper issue. In my opinion, this isn't just about one player. It's about the club's ability to manage talent and keep their stars aligned. When a player like Leao, who's supposed to be a game changer, becomes more of a distraction than an asset, it says a lot about the dynamics within the team. Now, Donadoni's commentary on Leo's consistency, or lack thereof, is spot on. Personally, I think Leo's talent is undeniable, but his inability to deliver consistently is frustrating. Donadoni even goes as far as saying that if he were Leo's teammate, he'd grab him by the braids to make him understand the need for versatility. That's a powerful image, right? It's not just about skill, it's about attitude, adaptability, and commitment. What many people don't realize is that in football, being a one-trick pony, no matter how good the trick is, can only take you so far. The game evolves, tactics change, and if you can't keep up, you're left behind. Another point Donadoni touches on is the whole tactical debate around Leao. He mentions Amorim's 3-4-2-1 formation and questions whether Leao fits into it. Here's where things get really intriguing. Donadoni's not just asking if Leao is the right player for the system. He's implying that if we're even having this conversation, Milan's already lost. What this really suggests is that the club might be trying to force a square peg into a round hole. If you take a step back and think about it, this raises a deeper question. Are clubs today too quick to build their strategies around individual players instead of fostering a cohesive unit? In my opinion, that's a recipe for disaster in the long run. Now, let's talk about Donadoni's take on the preseason friendlies. He downplays the importance of results, which is fair. These games are about getting into shape. But here's the thing. When your team fails to register a single shot on target against Chelsea, it's not just about fitness. It's about mindset, cohesion, and maybe even leadership. A detail I find fascinating is how Donadoni subtly shifts the focus from individual performances to the bigger picture. He's not panicking about the results, but he's also not brushing them off entirely. It's a nuanced perspective that not many ex-players bring to the table. Lastly, Donadoni's comments on Amorim and Gonçalo Ramos are worth unpacking. He's pragmatic about Amorim's appointment, saying that since Milan chose him, they have to back him, which is fair, but also a bit of a cop-out. On Ramos, he brings up the financial aspect, which is always a hot topic. Personally, I think Donadoni's onto something when he says the real value of players isn't just in their price tags. It's about what they bring to the team, both on and off the pitch. What this really suggests is that clubs need to rethink how they evaluate talent. It's not just about the numbers, it's about the fit. So, here's my closing thought. The Leao situation isn't just a Milan problem. It's a reflection of broader issues in modern football. Players wanting out, clubs struggling to adapt, and the constant pressure to perform. It's a messy cycle. If you take a step back and think about it, maybe Donadoni's right. Milan might have already lost this battle, but the war for stability and success is far from over. What do you guys think? Is Leao worth the hassle, or is it time for Milan to move on? Let me know in the comments below.